Hey, this is Cassie, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So Sergey "KRUSHER" Kovalev, WBO light heavyweight champion, formerly the boogeyman of the light heavyweight division until he ran into Andre S.O.G. Ward, but that's for another story, right? He will be taking on rising upcoming star, British star, 18-0, 17 knockouts, Anthony Yarde, this upcoming Saturday. Anthony Yarde and his team have been talking very, very confident that they're going to go into Russia and knock out Sergey Kovalev in his own backyard. Sergey Kovalev has responded. Anthony Yarde and his team refer to themselves as the Lions. You know, their training session is in the Lions Den. So Sergey Kovalev had this to say. He says that he's not a lion, he's actually a cub. He says in his school time, back to school, and I'm going to take him to school. He says that, you know, he's young and overconfident, and they underestimating me and underestimating the atmosphere and the event itself, and I'm going to take him to school. It's a whole different story under the bright lights, you know, as Floyd Mayweather said. And most people would agree, most experts and boxing pundits and things of that nature, journalists, etc., are picking Sergey Kovalev, you know, to win this fight. They're citing their reason is experience. You know, Anthony Yarde hasn't fought, you know, a clever journeyman at the least. You know, he hasn't fought in Isaac Chilemba, you know, a Jean Pascal, you know, somebody of that nature. That's a journeyman that knows little tricks and different nuances and things of that nature to, you know, give him the experience he needs to defeat a guy like Sergey "KRUSHER" Kovalev. Kovalev lost to Andre Ward twice. Andre Ward is a gold medalist. He's undefeated. He won the Super 6 tournament. He beat bad Chad Dawson when Chad Dawson was at the height of his career. You know, Andre Ward is a great fighter. Right, so losing to Andre Ward is like losing to Floyd Mayweather, right? You don't is not you know a how could I say? It's not a kicking a peg from under you. You know, it's not dropping you down. You know, for Sergey Kovalev, in a sense, it did. You know, due to the fact that Sergey Kovalev was looked at as the boogeyman in the division, the light heavyweight division, and Andre Ward moved up from 168 to 175 to take on Kovalev at his own weight. So when you look at it from that perspective, yes, you know, but losing to Andre Ward is nothing, you know, to hold your head down about, right? But Sergey Kovalev then lost to Eleider Alvarez. He got stopped by Eleider Alvarez. And getting stopped by Eleider Alvarez, that made a lot of people feel like Sergey Kovalev lost it. He showed weaknesses, you know, he showed chink in the armor. So a lot of people felt like, you know, it's the green light to go ahead and go at Sergey "KRUSHER" Kovalev. But he revamped himself. He came back. He reformed himself. He went into the Eleider Alvarez fight, the rematch, and outboxed Eleider Alvarez from round 1 to round 12, right? And outclassed Eleider Alvarez. He made the necessary adjustments that he didn't make in the first fight. He wrote the wrongs that he made in the first fight, and he totally outclassed Eleider Alvarez in the rematch. And that speaks volumes. He brought in a new coach in Buddy McGirt. He's learning defense. You know, you can see the difference in the first fight between the second fight. You know, and it's Eleider Alvarez. So when you comparing the two fights, it's night and day, right? So you see the adjustments that Kovalev made. And these are the things that I believe that Anthony Yarde and his team are taking for granted or underestimating Sergey Kovalev's ability to box. He's not just a banger. He showed the ability to box. Even in those two fights with Andre Ward, you know, he showed the ability to box in those fights. It's just that Andre Ward is just a level above everybody else. And he made the adjustments to Kovalev adjustments, and Kovalev wasn't able to make the necessary adjustments inside the ring. And so with that said, Andre Ward came out on top. He came out the victor. But when you look at it from the perspective of Sergey Kovalev, Andre Ward had a lot of trouble with Sergey Kovalev. He dropped Andre Ward, right? People thought he won the first fight with Andre Ward. So these are the things that, I believe that Anthony Yarde and his team are overlooking. Not to mention Andre Ward, they've been going back and forth with Andre Ward, the Yarde is, claiming that Andre Ward is jealous and, they would beat Andre Ward as well. And they're going to beat Sergey Kovalev in a better fashion than Andre Ward did, and I just feel like, they're making a huge mistake. They're making a huge mistake in my opinion. I think that they're underestimating Sergey Kovalev and overestimating themselves. And they should be confident in themselves. But you cannot underestimate a guy that lost his belts to Andre Ward, lost to Eleider Alvarez by knockout, revamped himself, came back, beat that man that beat him, Eleider Alvarez, took his belts back, and did it in a whole different fashion than people were used to. People were used to him getting knockouts. He did it by, right? And not to mention his power. So Anthony Yarde, not saying that it's impossible for him to be victorious in this fight, because it's very possible. But the lack of experience, the lack of attention to detail, I believe, the lack of crediting Sergey Kovalev, the lack of underestimating the event and the atmosphere, going into Russia, never been to Russia, saying he never seen a stadium, they didn't do a walkthrough. Why? A ring is a ring. This is what Anthony Yarde is saying. And all of these things just speaks volumes for his inexperience. And it just is highlighted that he's going to go into this fight, and it's a possibility that he could get outclassed in this fight with Sergey Kovalev. As Andre Ward, and you get Andre Ward, and you get Joe Calzaghe, and you get Bernard Hopkins, and you get so many different guys that feel like, Anthony Yarde and his team are making a grave mistake by jumping up this level. They skipped like 10 levels and jumped right to the top. They were on level 2 and they jumped right to level 20, and feel like without doing the proper research, without doing the proper homework, they're gonna just be victorious. No, it's levels for a reason, right? It's just like you play a video game. There's different levels. You start off at level 1 and you work your way up to the end, and then you understand why the end is the end, right? And that's the same situation you have here. You have to work your way to that position. And now it's a possibility, because we've seen some guys do it, Vasyl Lomachenko, but remember, Vasyl Lomachenko jumped up and felt like he could go right in there with Orlando Salido and beat a veteran because he seemed to be a journeyman, and that proved to be wrong. Orlando Salido beat Vasyl Lomachenko, right? But then you have guys like Floyd Mayweather, who takes fights with Gennaro Hernandez, and people thought he was absolutely insane. His team was not doing Floyd Mayweather any, they were doing him a disservice, but then he went and proved everybody wrong. You understand? Now Anthony Yarde has talent, but Sergey Kovalev has a lot of talent himself. So I can't wait to see how this fight plays out. It's fight week, fight coming up on Saturday. Can't wait to see how this fight plays out. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like to share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Blue Blood Sport TV, baby, from the Empress. Much love.